Hey y'all, thanks for joining me again with another video I have decided to upload. School has been a little rough, as you can see. Yeah, I got the beard, got the stubble these last couple of weeks because it's been a good minute since I've uploaded some videos. I feel as though it's been like a month and a half or 2 months, but either way, a lot has transpired since the last video. Had a waxing practical here recently, had a couple of quizzes, then I had an exam in neuro, had an exam in oral biome, and I also had an exam in host defenses. And since it's a Friday afternoon, class ended earlier today, but I stayed behind to create this video real quickly. We have an exam next week in operative as well as waxing. So school has been a little rough. Everyone's been asking me, how's it going? I'm like, I honestly feel as though I'm getting jumped each and every single day. And it's all I can do to just say, God, please help me make it through the day. Now, I will admit my grades have been fairly well, can't complain, but it is just a fight. It's like, my gosh, it's just like I'm fighting each day. That's all I can do. But the point of this video today is to talk about, or to address, better yet, the elephant in the room, and that is sleep. So often people are always talking about sleep. Oh, Wes, what are you doing for sleep? Oh, Wes, how much sleep do you get? How do you factor that into your schedule? Excuse me while I get some water. How do you factor that into your schedule? And first and foremost, I just want to say sleep is very subjective. My colleagues have left already to get a jump on their weekend, but if 98 other individuals was here, and if I pulled 5 of them to the side, you will get a total, including I myself, you'll get potentially a total of 6 different answers because it's whatever floats your boat. So I just want to release that disclaimer right now. So if I am taking myself into account, I would say that for me, I got to get sleep. I have to get some sleep. On average, I get anywhere from 5 hours of sleep, maybe to 6 hours of sleep, because if I don't get enough sleep, I tend to get headaches and I can't hold down food or water. I remember when I was in a year or two before starting dental school officially, I was enrolled in some master's classes. Specifically, it was a master's certificate program with the University of Florida. And then plus, I do bodybuilding from time to time. I did some bodybuilding shows during this particular time, or excuse me, show during this particular time. And I'm like, okay, I feel as though this is a trial run for dental school. I'm like, I'm juggling classes, I'm juggling a full time and a part time job. Okay. And I have to prepare for a bodybuilding show. I'm like, God, how do I do this? I was like, okay, let's just start with the gym. Am I going to go during the day or am I going to go during the evening? Which am I going to go with? I know I want to go during the day because everybody knows you go during the evening. A 1 hour workout could potentially turn into a 3 hour workout because everybody and their grandma at the gym, and you got some people texting on their phones, hogging the machine saying, oh yeah, bro, I'm working out. But it's like, bro, you've been sitting there for the last 10 minutes. You not working out. But the point is, I said, okay, so I'm gonna work out early in the morning. I would work out from 5 to 7 a.m. And then luckily the gym was like 8 red lights from my job. So I'm like, okay, get to work by 7:30. 7:30 to 4 o'clock, I would work. From 4 to 5 o'clock, I would be in traffic trying to get home. And then from 5 to 5:30, gave me that window to detox. Because if you're from Atlanta, the traffic is just horrible. So detox from my day and the traffic or whatnot. Then from 5:30 to essentially 8:30, I would study, and then 8:30 to 4 a.m. I would be in bed asleep, leave my house by 4:30 to get to the gym by 5 a.m. and I would do that. And that cycle pretty much worked for me. But there were times with a master's certificate program I was enrolled in at the time. Shout out to the University of Florida. There was times where, yes, I fell into, oh my gosh, embryology is kicking my butt. I need to figure out how does the heart form inside this embryo, and I need to stay up late. this is where things get kind of gray because I'm like, okay, God, I really need to do well. Embryology is kicking my butt. Oh my gosh. I would kind of push the envelope. I'm like, okay, maybe I can see what it's like if I get a minimum of 4 hours of sleep. Okay, I did that. And I was making some mistakes on the job. I really couldn't comprehend what I was doing. Some of my colleagues were like, hey, Wes, we noticed you're making these mistakes, bro. Like, you got to do better. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe 5 hours of sleep. I'm like, okay, things got a little bit better, but then I felt as though I wasn't grasping the content enough. And then later on in the day, within those 3 hours, I'm just like, I'm just trying to figure this out. But unfortunately, things came to a head, and this is where I'm getting very personal very quickly. Things came to a head where I was staying up late to ensure I passed the exams in embryology, and then another class at the time, it was histology. But then I made a serious mistake on the job to the point the lab director got involved and called me into his office, and he was like, hey, Wes, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what's going on, but you made a pretty significant mistake. And if I didn't catch this, there would be serious ramifications. And you can about put two and two together what those ramifications would have been. Um, but that's when I was like, okay, pause. I got to figure out what is that Goldilocks time for myself in which I can balance school, prepare for this bodybuilding show, as well as do well on this job and make little to no mistakes. I was like, okay, I know I want to work out in the morning. Great. I know in between that time I'm at work. I know in the evening is my study time. Okay. I said, let me go with 5.5 hours to 6 hours of sleep. And that was that perfect Goldilocks time for me to balance and be able to juggle everything and more importantly remain in my right frame of mind to excel in school, do well at the gym and not be lethargic, as more importantly be able to do my job effectively so that I'm not making any mistakes and I'm still meeting the turnaround times in the lab. So I say all that to say I did that before coming into dental school, and now that I'm here in dental school, I will admit, July, August, and September, yeah, like people say, drinking from a fire hose. Like I said, I feel as though I'm getting jumped each and every single day. Things have gotten a little bit better now, now that we're beginning to go downhill towards the end of the semester. But I had to figure out all of this. And here recently, I was like, okay, in order for me to be successful, especially in the second half of the semester, let me try to replicate what I did before starting dental school. And yeah, things have been working out. I'm really shocked. To a certain extent, I am shocked, but things have really been working very well for me. I go to bed around 11, but yeah, I'm really, yeah, 11. I would say 11 p.m. And then I wake up around 4 a.m., 4:30, meditate. I always start my day by thanking God for letting me see another day, literally see another day and be able to live to fight another day at dental school slash meditate. I do that. Then I'm in the gym, and on average, between 5:30 to about 7 a.m., I'm in the gym, and then from 7 a.m. to 7:30, I get to class, and then 7:30, 8 a.m., eat breakfast or whatnot. Then classes on average again is from 8 a.m. until 4:45 p.m. You want to round to the nearest hour. I would say 5 p.m. and then get home 5 to 5:30, relax. But then from 5:30 to about 8:30, 9:30, all the way to 10, I'm studying, and then 10 to 11, I'm beginning to wind down my night to where I'm in the bed, and then if not at 11, 11:30, I'm knocked out, and then I do it all over again. That works for me. Somebody else may say, hey, Wes, I stay up extremely late to study. I don't go to bed until 3 or 4 in the morning, but I'm able to wake up, be in my right frame of mind, and get to class on time by 8 a.m. and be cognizant of what all is going on. I'm very wary of what the professor is throwing at us. That may work for them, but I know for me, it was an eye opener when I got called into the lab director's office. So, having experienced that in corporate America during my gap years, I said, yeah, I'm a lock in 5 to 6 hours of sleep. So, really, it isn't going to be a long video. I hope this video help somebody out there who's trying to figure out their sleeping cycle. But again, it's all subjective. You have to know what works best for you and, more importantly, your body. But on that note, I will be uploading another video on a topic in which a pre-dental asked me recently. But until then, I hope wherever you are at in the world, you are doing well. Cheers from Augusta, Georgia. Take care. Bye.